sugar, useful to ensure that we are living, but at the same time, once it goes into excess, then it starts getting us into those problems. It can be thrown into it can clog, in form of glycogen, it can clog blood vessels that maybe are into your eyes, so you start getting blurred vision. We've already seen the heart is struggling. The nerves can get really damaged, so you start getting poor impulses. You see, there is communication between the nervous system. There's a network that should make us feel that, oh, here it's hot, and you take away your hand or your foot, but then when you reach that level where you're not really feeling anything, then of course you get burned. So the circulation is also affected, and we end into amputation. We looked at the brain, where you start forgetting, and so many other things, in a sense that we have so many health challenges. But if we could manipulate, we could optimize the ones related to having enough sugar in the system, we would have cut down the burden of what we're calling non-communicable diseases. These are diseases which you don't pick from sitting with somebody or interacting with someone, but they're from systems breaking down. Yeah, so we shall be looking into lifestyle that can support us in having just enough sugar. For example, high fiber diet. If it's bread, what kind of bread are you embracing in reference to your age category? If you're still below 40 years, well, maybe you can go with any bread on the market. It's okay, you're still energetic. But if you're middle age, you need to mind what you are eating, with a focus on ensuring that sugar, which can be a gateway to challenges, is well managed. We have bread on the market that has fiber, so look out for that bread with real fiber. We may call it chachu, and we can be very good at giving our poultry. You want to give chachu, or you're looking after animals, but the reason you're giving them that should also be the reason you're also going out for that. Maybe you didn't know. So if you have food from the garden, don't polish it, don't change it a lot. If it's sweet potato, eat it as sweet potato. You may not go for sweet potato flour. That flour could be for a teenager who is still very, very active, because for us middle age, we tend to be sedentary. We are seated most of the times, and when we get out of the seat, we on a boda, we go to parties. For example, you've gone to Kwanjula. You sit for some 8 hours. You are seated listening. So we need to know that even in that sitting as a lifestyle, we can break it by having short stances where you stand, because the human being by nature is made to really be active. But when you find yourself seated, that's the reason why we getting into clothes. There is this high sugar in your system. The body is struggling to take it out. So you could easily get those clothes. They lead you to stroke. So I think you see why when we say we look at sugar balancing, then we would have tackled so many other, issues. Foods. Maize meal, posho. If you scan around us, people prefer white posho. That white posho, the maize has been stripped of all the fiber, even the important ingredients, the one that has rich vitamin E oil, the eye of the maize seed has been taken out, because the social life tells you white is good, but sincerely you're not getting balanced nutrients. So the simplest way of having a balanced diet, have the food the way God created it, So in that regard, when you talk about maize, have the maize itself, and that fiber will help you to cleanse your colon, that end bit of the digestive system that keeps all that has been passed on after the body has pulled out nutrients, we get a challenge of the material failing to get out, and water keeps oozing out, and as a result you have a congested system, which can easily lead to colorectal cancer. And we can see these cancers that were never so much part of our system are really going up because we adopted diets from other systems without asking ourselves why, and that fiber which helps to sweep the food through the system and clean the colon is no longer there. So you're getting into the other issue of unbalanced sugar because you've eaten processed foods, but then at the same time you're getting constipated, things are not getting out, and you get this cancer. So you can see how all these are emanating from that sugar, and how the body keeps trying to fight, cleans it, dumps it,